Jim,
Yes.
let's go from the wonderful world of Hogan to Europe. Back to Europe for more
Back to
WWE.
Europe.
More WWE in Europe for WWE Raw on Netflix.
Well, they were in Glasgow, Scotland. Shout out to our friend Kenny McIntosh. He's getting married this summer at a location near some of you people over there. So be sure to crash Kenny's wedding. But they were, again, they've been in Italy. They've been in Spain. They're in Scotland. They're going to London. And I mean, if I was 30 years younger, I might say, yeah, for the next 4 years or so, keep me the out of America as much as you can. But God almighty, some of these people might want to go home and see their family every once in a while, mightn't they? And they're sold out again. 11,000 whatever people. And the crowd shot with the drone coming into it is a bowl type arena is what I'm trying to say. So it was round, and when the drone came in, it looked like one of the Thunderdome that we talked about, Brian, where the motorcycle rider could just ride around the bowl. The Thunderdome. The crowd looked impressive, did it not?
It did, and they, of course, love to sing and shout and twist and shout and dance and let it all go. It's like when rock and roll first
Let it all hang out.
It's like when rock and roll first hit Russia. When Billy Joel was playing, and finally the fans are like, hey, the troops aren't going to shoot us. We can dance.
Yes. Oh, comrade, move your booty. Oh, well, yes, they were singing here and chanting and they play John Cena's music. And immediately, John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. And you know what? We thought we were going to see some kind of Hollywood Hulk Hogan transformation where he's going to start wearing all black or look heelish or grow a beard or something. He hasn't changed the outfit and one iota or the burger towel that he holds up. And by the way, you know, John Cena, that's where he got the idea for the towel that he holds up. It's from my burger towels. Obviously, that's one of the things I taught him in OVW. You knew that, didn't you, Brian?
I had not heard that. That's not something I had seen before.
Well, you've heard it now. See, you never know what you're going to learn here, or potentially what I can make you believe. But the thing I'm saying is, it works to me. Now, not changing the look, because now that you want to find something wrong with it, or the people want to pick at it or whatever, because let's face it, he's still a man that's almost 50 years old wearing that stupid fucking outfit and waving a burger towel around and hustle, loyalty, respect. You can't say all that stuff. It worked for the time, and then it worked because it became iconic. But now that they're looking for a reason to not like it, it fucking works. That outfit gets some fucking heat, doesn't it? If you're thinking about it that way.
I think so, yes. And also I do think the idea is that he didn't change. They changed. Or is that what he's saying? No, he's saying that everyone's always been awful. Maybe I'm wrong.
They've always been awful.
That's right.
But I'm just saying, they were thinking, oh, is he going to change it? Is they going to change the music? Are they going to change the looks? Is he going to come out and gone all Hollywood with The Rock or whatever? No, he looks like a fucking balding man having a midlife crisis, and he's pouting. And that's the look. That is boo-boo face. The look that he's giving it when he comes out, he's the opposite of, oh, I'm happy, let's go to work, and I'm going to slide in. He's walking out. He's looking at those people with boo-boo face, like, fuck you. And all he has to do is something on your mind, and they boo him. And he heals the fan, but he's being a fucking... And now he's got a stick up his ass. John Cena, the doctor of thugonomics, the guy that, was anti-authority and establishment in his youth or whatever the fuck, at least in their minds, is now he's the fucking petulant fucking old guy. Get off my lawn, kids. He's you know what he's doing, Brian? He's yelling at clouds. But get their fuck you, Cena and Netflix. At first, they tried to bleep fuck you, Cena, but the guy was off. So what I heard was fuck you, bleep, fuck you, bleep. And then they started chanting, shut the fuck up, and the guy just quit. He just said, fuck it. I'm not even getting in this. But he cuts the promo on the fans and how they're all horrible people. For 25 years, I've listened to your lies and noise. And I got to recognize the one guy with the sign that says Cena fears Finn Martin. Finn Martin, obviously a longtime editor of numerous wrestling publications in the United Kingdom. And he's actually the American or the English cousin of the American Quinn Martin. Brian, you know Quinn and Finn, they were quite a tag team.
I don't think there's any
back
relation.
In the Tennessee territory.
I don't know about that.
And then Cena said that your lives are all sad. You got sad lives. And he did the heel promo on the fans and their shortcomings, that I can't do it justice because he's the linguist, but he knocked him for not liking the spinner belt in 2005. And how everybody hated that. So now he's going to ruin wrestling for everybody, because at WrestleMania, he's going to win the title for the 17th time and make you forget all about Ric Flair. And even worse, I'm winning the title and I'm retiring with it. I'm taking it home with me. So I'm going to be the last real champion here, and I'm going to walk away with your memories and your dreams, and you can't stop me. And they hit Cody's music. Oh my God. And now they're happy. And they're singing and they're whoaing. And here comes Cody to answer this effrontery to the wrestling fan there in Glasgow. And of course, he immediately, but when his music comes down, the people chanted for him. Again, it's the soccer, I guess. They know all the tunes and all the ebbs and the flows of the things. They're very musical people over there, aren't they? Who would have thought it would be soccer, if the football, as they call it over there, that would get people together? I get they're musical because they get their bell rung all the time. Is that what we're being told?
Who's telling us that? No.
Well, then how come they sing so much better than the crowds in America?
The American crowds don't sing. I don't know what the soccer chants are, but there was one song that literally just sounded like, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. I don't know what song that is.
Yeah, but they were all doing it at the same time. Over here, you can't get people to agree on the lyrics to Stairway to Heaven. Anyway, Cody comes out and does a babyface promo and takes up for the people. And he fights for their right to party. And he said, you said that you would take this belt from them. Well, shouldn't you take it away from me first? And he took up for the fans, which led to them doing more chanting. And then he laid the belt down and dared John Cena to take it. And Cena turned around and left the ring. And Cody called him back and dared him to get in the ring. And Cena came back, and then he went back out. And then Cody, in his dustyism of the week, he said, let me tell you this, John Cena. Your psychotic need to take this doesn't outweigh our need to keep it, baby. Only he said it like Cody says it. And then he told Cena that he's going to walk away from WrestleMania and the WWE empty-handed, just like he's doing there. And again, they talked and then they left. And it takes 20 minutes. And I'm not saying any of it's bad, but it's just between the singing and the chanting and the milking and the interringing. And If you'd have done something on one of Vince McMahon's programs 30 years ago that had the pace of this, he would have screamed at you. See, we could have done this in fucking 6 minutes. But it was very good. What'd you think?
I thought it was excellent. It went a really long time, but I really enjoyed it. But some of the critics who have not liked the Cena heel promos, I've seen them say, and they're right, it went a long time, but it was really good. Cody's argument is ridiculous. And I know he's really hot right now. The fans are singing his name. But he's not mad because he got his ass kicked. He's mad because you want to take the title from them. What? I mean, come on.
It's Dusty.
It is.
You can do what you want to this poor old broken down body. You can do what you want, Ivan Koloff, Anderson brothers, to this poor broken down body. But when you start talking about the people of the state of Georgia, that type of thing.
Is Cena trying to deliberately drive Cody nuts? Where he gets Cody all amped up, wanting a fight, and then he just bows out and walks away slowly, like he's playing mind games with him.
Well, no. What he's doing is he's acknowledging that there's still, what they say, 26 days left to WrestleMania. We don't need to be physical this far out. And then he's playing mind games. But yet, no, they're milking this. And why? Why would they need, if this was AEW, yes, they'd have jumped each other coming out of the fucking entry tunnel and they'd have brawled for 15 minutes through the building. They don't need it right now, and they don't need it this early, this far before I would suggest that one time, probably before WrestleMania, there will be a situation where Cody either almost gets Cena, but he don't get to do what he wants to do, and Cena turns it around and beats him up again. Or perhaps just Cody gets his hands on him, but don't get what he wants to do. Well, no, I still think, and then Cena will get a little heat on him again. I don't think it'll be more than that.
And again, 2 weeks now of this. I don't think they could have Cena go into every town and just do this kind of promo over and over again. I think 2 weeks is enough. It has to be something different. But 2 weeks with no mention of The Rock, no mention of Travis Scott from Cody, no mention of you teamed up with The Rock to turn against me and all these people.
The announcers who are instructed in these things do reference that, oh, he sold his soul for the final boss, but none of the talent is.
But yeah, but the people actually doing the angle aren't saying anything about it. What the hell is that? Because now even if The Rock shows up again in a couple weeks to be a part of this, you're not starting from scratch, but why has he not been referenced or mentioned by the actual people doing the 25-minute segments?
Because the announcers can be instructed as these things to say, but the people doing the 25-minute segments are the guy that's retiring after being one of the biggest stars in the history of the company and the other guy who's on top during their hottest period. And I don't think they want to talk about it a lot, either one of them. I think they're doing what they're doing to get the attention on them and their match, and not on people who might want to steal some spotlight.
Well, perhaps they could switch it up and they could say that it's not about The Rock. They could say it's about John Cena not having a good night's sleep, not having the right mattress.
Well, you could talk about that, because if this was 20 years ago or whatever, when John Cena was had the doctorate in thugonomics, he would say, well, your mama walks down the street with a mattress tied to her back. But see, now you can't say stuff like that anymore, because everybody knows that all the finer hooers have air mattresses that they can inflate and deflate as necessary. So it's no longer a thing where you see people in that line of work walking down the street with a mattress tied to their back. And here's another reason why you don't see that.
Yeah, let's focus on people who live in a house and do things.
Well, yes. Well, there's all kinds of houses, Brian. Haven't you ever heard of some of those houses?
Let's specifically not mention some houses, but let's talk about Mr. and Mrs. America just looking for a good night's sleep.
I was at a house in New Orleans one time. But nevertheless, folks,
they called it the
reason
Rising Sun?
why they certainly did. It was the ruin of many a poor young boy. But folks, Helix Sleep ain't going to ruin you. because that's what I'm beating around the bush trying to get to, is that you don't see people carrying mattresses on their backs down the street anymore because Helix Sleep has made that obsolete. Delete, delete. You don't have to go to a store and then lug that big overstuffed son of a bitch back to your house anymore, or have some crew of burly men dressed in various stages of grunty and groany and stinky bringing the thing into your home and knocking over everything till you get to the bedroom. No, now you could have a mattress delivered to your home in a nice, neat box that one person can motivate and navigate, and you put it right where you want it, you unbox it, and poof, it comes to life. And that is the Helix Sleep mattress, the ones that we've been telling you about for months and months and years, because that's what we sleep on, because that's what we recommend you sleep on, because you don't want to sleep on suspicious merchandise, on you never know what these other mattress companies are putting inside the mattresses. You never know what you're sleeping on top of or who else is laid down on that particular thing. Helix, they all come wrapped up just for you. Brian, you can honestly say that your Helix mattress, no human being has laid on it before you get a chance to plop your weary bones down on it.
That's right. I can honestly say that when you get your Helix mattress, it'll be brand new just for you from Helix.
No human being is laid on, because they do tests with only dogs and cats.
Again, I don't know what they do and you don't know it either, but let's talk about
But your pets are going to love
I don't know about your pets. What are you talking? Brand new mattresses.
Your pets are going to love the Helix too, because they get in a spot and they want to burrow right in the middle where it's warm.
Well,
but I'll tell you what, these Helixes, if you sleep hot, they'll cool you off. If you sleep cold, they'll warm you up. If you sleep stiff, they'll loosen you up. And if you sleep loosey-goosey, they will tighten you tighter than Dick's hat band. It's just what
if any
you
of these
want
things
them
are
to
what
do.
you want, if that's what you want, you get to get a mattress that's
well,
just
that's right.
for you.
And you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you can get what you need. And that's why you take the quiz at helixsleep.com. That's HELIX sleep.com. And you tell them what you want, and then they tell you what they got that fits what you want. And then you order it and they send it to you. And then, boy, howdy, you sleep on it. And again, just as comfortable, like you're floating through clouds on the way to Asgard. And you're not going to get hit with Thor's hammer either. Did you hear what the girl said to Thor the day after the orgy? They both woke up and Thor introduced himself. He said, "Hi, I'm Thor." And she said, "You're Thor. I'm so Thor, I could hardly pip."
Again, let's talk about Mr. and Mrs. America. Man, having a good time.
Man just out there trying to have a good time with a woman on a Helix mattress.
Everyday family, and of course, everyone needs a good mattress. And you said it before, we have them here at Last Manor. You have them at Castle Cornette. We not only talk about Helix, we sleep on Helix, we have Helix. You can too. Sleep where Jim Cornette sleeps.
Well,
Helix.
Don't go to sleep on Helix now, because you don't want to sleep and miss out on Helix. So you got to wake up and go to sleep on a Helix. But if you want to sleep where I sleep, well, you're going to have to move me first. But right now, folks, you can go to helixsleep.com/JCE. helixsleep.com/JCE. 20% off and 2 free dream pillows with every mattress purchase. And you'll get all the information there on all the various kinds of mattresses they have for the big people, the little people, the short people, the tall people, the cool people, the assholes. They'll even sell you a mattress if you're an asshole. And it puckers right up around you and holds you tight and as you sleep through the night.
That's not what it does. A mattress just for you.
helixsleep.com/JCE.
That's right. We love them.
Yes.
You will too. Let us know. Let them know. Call them up. Do what you got to do. Helix Sleep.
Let everybody know about it.
Let's get back to WWE Raw.
Oh, they still were doing that, weren't they?
In Scotland, in Glasgow.
There was at Glasgow, I'll have you know.
Glasgow.
There was a bunch more stuff. I'm going through the plugs and the commercials and spots and travelogue. Here we came up on Io and Bianca and Rhea and what's going on with them. And Adam Pearce is an underrated and underheralded individual. The way that he exhibits frustration, not only with the talent that has given him all kinds of problems, but also some of the fucking cornball shit that he has to deliver. He's got the bits. He takes the glasses off. He fucking looks the consternation on his face. He's got to work with this shit. But they did the same thing. It was like they've taken this show on the road. It wasn't in Broadway. It was in Bologna, and then it was in Glasgow, where they did another thing where EO comes out. She's barely taller than the barricade. Somebody tweeted, by the way, her build listed statistic on the official website is she's 5'1".
Oh, you saw that? You saw someone tweet that?
I saw somebody tweet that.
Did you see the hundreds of people tweeting how wrong you are about EO, that she's good, that she has talent, that she's over, that they like her?
But nobody said she wasn't 5'1".
I said she was in the range. I think that was the range I said. I said up to 5'3". I said up to 5'3". Right. I capped it at 5'3".
You sound like the fucking guy that gave me the warranty on my fucking roof. But anyway, she struggled to say that she would take on both Rhea and Bianca. When Bianca came out, interrupted Adam Pearce. He was trying to make a proclamation again. He couldn't get it out because these people wouldn't quit interrupting him. And Bianca says, this is bullshit. She didn't say bullshit, but she might as well have. She earned the number one contender spot. She's not letting Rhea into the match because she doesn't deserve it. And then Rhea's music hits and a big pop. Now they brought the big guns out. Because EO, they're polite. And Bianca, they seem like they're not happy with Bianca over there in Glasgow. But Rhea brought the house down. And she said, I don't give a damn about WrestleMania or who I've got to go through to get my title back, but I want my rematch. And Bianca tells Rhea that, well, you can just hold on and just hold your horses for 3 weeks and wait till I beat EO, and then you can have your rematch with her or with me. And they did the same thing, but they've done this how many times? Like 2 or 3 times now, where Bianca and Rhea get face to face, arguing, ignoring EO, and she starts to walk up, and one of them just pie faces her, like, get her out of the way, like, yeah, not now, kid. And then EO again started back at him, and Pearce blocked her off. And no, don't do it. So I'm pretty sure at this point that some way or another, Rhea and Bianca are coming out of this thing feuding for the title or even a chance at the title if they don't take it from EO at WrestleMania. But Bianca is going to be the heel. But Pearce has the solution. Next week, it's going to be Rhea versus EO, and the winner will face Bianca at WrestleMania. And some way or another, I bet you that Bianca is going to cost Rhea the title with EO next week. But anyway, nevertheless, then they all three, Rhea and Bianca, start arguing again, and EO ran at Bianca, but Bianca alley-ooped EO, but EO grabbed Rhea in a Hurricane Rana or whatever, and they went through the most preposterous series of choreographed 3-way shit that I have ever seen. And even though this was an overseas crowd into everything, the people weren't really going crazy for it because it was so... There was no payoff and excitement and aggression. It was just the endless alley-oop into somebody else foiling someone else's move. But whenever Bianca got a hold of EO like she was going to do something, they booed the fuck out of that. Did you notice that?
I've been telling you I thought that Bianca's giving off heel vibes for a few weeks. Ever since the Naomi attack in the...
Oh, now you agree with me.
I've been saying it. And I think every time I would say it, you would just turn it around to insulting EO Sky for no good reason. But here we are. Is this still going to end up a 3-way?
I think it's almost got to the way that they're going, doesn't it? And also because of the fairness to the female genre. that we have to have the guys three-way and the girls three-way, like we got the guys rumble and the girls rumble and get blah, blah, blah. But I'd rather see Rhea and Bianca. Anyway.
Dramatic music. Jim, let's move on from the girls segment. There's still more of Raw.
You never know when it's safe, folks. Yeah, that stuff can just come in at any time. And oh, Jesus Christ, what was that? Well, now we come to the part of the Raw program where we come to the three men vying for supremacy in the triple threat situation that they got over there with CM Punk and Seth Franklin Rollins and Roman Reigns. They had a big package on that with the happenings, and then suddenly, like Mussolini and a big crowd poppy from Glasgow for our own Punky. Cause what's the matter with you?
It was awful lyrics. That's what's the matter with me.
My voice almost stuck like that. Now my voice is stuck.
Your voice wasn't even the problem this time. It was the actual lyrics.
Well, I'll have you know I'm a cunning lyricist as well.
Punky?
Our own Punky.
Hey, by the way, are we still calling him Franklin? I've had people ask us that because apparently WWE has dropped Freakin'. He's now just Seth Rollins, the grown-up Seth Rollins.
Well, but just...
Is he still Franklin?
Just because they're allowed to change people's names willy-nilly doesn't mean that we are bound to that, does it? We can still call people by their proper names.
I agree.
What about Jack Double Barrel Cannon?
What about him?
We could call him that.
Yes, we can.
But anyway, you know who they were calling CM Punk over there in Glasgow? CM Punk. Because they got the big CM Punk chants going, and they sing. They're multilingual over there in the overseas lands. They know all these fucking songs and chants, and they go back and forth. It's amazing. And he's there to do a promo. Now, riddle me this, Brian. We just talked a little earlier in the program. It seems so long ago and oh so far away. But they're all over there. They're in Bologna, and they're in Cologne, and they're in fucking London, and they're in all these places, Spain and France. But how can, if they're Roman Reigns nor Seth were on this show, and Punk comes out and cuts a promo and basically says that they're going to be in London. They're too scared to come here or whatever he said. But did they just say it? Oh, we're over here, but fuck it. I mean, does that count toward their number of contracted dates to the point where they'd rather sit off on a sold out house or what? I don't.
Yeah, that's.
Are they flying back and forth?
That's what I was wondering. Did this conflict with Roman's 15 dates a year? Or whatever,
well, but
whatever he works.
God damn, if you're over there, would you come all the way back home to be home for a couple days, turn around and leave again, or whatever? I don't know. You know what? I'm glad. When I watched TV, when I was a wrestling fan, when I was a kid, you could think, well, if I got into business, I could go all the way to Memphis, Tennessee. That was a big deal. But fucking Maine to Spain on a choo-choo train. Anyway, so Punk cut a promo. It's a great promo. And he's promoing, his issue with these two fucking guys. And he had a little homage, or as the kids call it, an Easter egg or whatever, with, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I work with children. But Seth screwed me at the Elimination Chamber because he's a little diaper piss baby. And Roman screwed me. Well, for those two, it's personal, but for me, it's business. There's two guys in my way, and they got to go. Seth and Roman. And he dropped the little hint that, Roman, somebody better tell you that your wise man isn't just your wise man. And there's a contract signing on Friday. I'm like, what the fuck? Did they all went home from fucking, where were they? Friday night in Spain? or Bolivia. They all went home and are coming back to London
Why do
fucking Friday.
you always mention Bolivia? Bolivia's nowhere.
We got a big audience. I'm trying to talk to the people out there, the cult of Cornette. In Uruguay is a hot spot for us right now.
Uruguay.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Maybe that's something that you need to tell people about yourself on your own. I didn't mean to reveal anything, but nevertheless.
Nevertheless,
more of this that's happening. Seth and Roman, fuel up the jets and I'll see you in London. That's what Punk is saying. I'm not going to be there. So, but he reminded everybody again, neither one of you have ever beaten me without the other one's help. And I brought you into this business and I can't wait to take you out of it, because they were his shield along with the other guy before he started exhibiting all the brain damage symptoms or whatever. What do you think? I hate to go back to him. That's probably what Renee thinks, but what does he think when his two compadres are two of the biggest fucking wrestling stars in the goddamn world for the biggest wrestling company in the world, and he's over there getting a fucking phony bat stuck in his back? What?
I think he has personal satisfaction and that he's able to do all the stupid stuff that Brock Lesnar said, I'm not doing this, you idiot. He now does it, and he has a billionaire paying him and his wife millions of dollars to be there every week for this. He does promos that no one likes. Their own fans have turned against him. His matches are terrible. His stable's the most boring stable ever. But he's doing his own thing. If he was here...
But hey, he's independent.
Hey, listen, he's also exposed himself. I'm not saying WWE wouldn't bring him back, because they'll bring anyone back, especially to hurt Tony. But man, I can't even vision him fitting into the scene over there right now, because he is awful. And these guys aren't.
Well, nevertheless, they weren't there, but Punk was, and he's going to see him Friday in London for the big contract sign. So, again, they get to see one of the stars, but this is a big deal to these people. Over there, they get one big show in, a dog's age, as Aunt Lola used to say. And then, Punk comes out and does a promo, but where are these other fucking guys? Oh, we're going to be in London. And even the people booed that. And he said, you're booing? He said, well, I can't help it. I'm here. So it was just like, fuck. Couldn't they just come out and walk around and talk a little bit? That's all they need to do. Anyway, would you like to go to the main event, Brian?
Yeah, good promo, by the way.
Good promo. Well, thank you. You talking about
Did
Punk.
you write this promo? Are you writing promos again?
No, I thought you meant the one I just did.
What do you think they're going to do with Heyman?
Well, I don't know.
And where's Brock?
The Duke weight loss clinic.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, you said me? What are you talking creatively? They're going to do with
CM Punk's favor. We don't know what it is, but they're still teasing it. What do you think it'll be, and what do you think Heyman's going to do?
See, the problem is, I think Heyman realizes, like I did at one point in time, 30-something years ago, when his shoe was on the other manager, that he's not as effective, or he can't get in the meat of the matter as much as a babyface, but circumstances, kind of demanded it. But now where do you go? And I don't know. It's not like that if he suddenly favored Punk over Roman that it would switch him heel. It's not like if he favored Roman over Punk, it'd switch him heel, unless they want to switch Roman back. So there may be some resolution to this where it's what's best for Heyman, which, again, might or might not. Where does Brock stand with Dana White and those guys? Are they happy with him?
Yeah, I don't think there's any heat or anything that I know of.
Okay, then it seems like that they will bring anybody that can make them money, and Brock could make them money, But maybe Brock wants too much money because he knows how much money because he was already making a fucking shitload of money.
Or are they just waiting for all the Vince stuff to go away? Because until it does, you could bring him back, and the next week it's like, Brock Lesnar asked her for a plate of piss.
I don't know. Dana White was on video power slapping his wife in a bar, and he didn't even fucking go home for a day.
That is amazing. He was doing interviews on TV right after it, too. And he's just like, yeah.
But now, I think there was a mitigating circumstances that she hit him first, but nevertheless. But yeah, so I don't think they care about that shit.
Well,
no pun intended. I don't think they care about that shit. But it's time for the main event. For the Intercontinental title, I had to watch this because I wanted to see. It could have been ugly. It could not have been. I was nervous. Braun Breaker versus Penta. And I'm thinking, is there going to be a style clash here? Is Braun too green to deal with that type of thing? And while it wasn't his best ever performance, it didn't stink. It wasn't that bad. There's still, Braun looks incredible, and his fucking style, he works like his father, and he has a personality of his uncle. But there's still, when Braun is having to position himself and cooperate for the Hava Coronas, especially the one that Penta halfway missed and kind of body scissored him, and just the stuff he's doing, it doesn't highlight Braun in the best light. But like I said, it could have been a lot worse. Although in the first 30 seconds, Penta grabbed him in a headlock with his right arm. And I know the people who are smart on the fucking internet are going to say, well, that's the way they do it in Mexico. Yes, that's the idea. That's the way they do it in Mexico. Which is another reason why it's always been hard for luchadors with no experience in the United States and or vice versa to fucking work with each other, because a lot of times they do work from the other side down there. But point is, they're not in Mexico. They were in goddamn Glasgow. And for Braun, I bet you that may be the first time that anybody would have ever headlocked him with the right arm before. And all he did was pick him up and throw him off and show his strength and everything. But what else could you do? He couldn't do anything else because it'd be all fucked up. That's the point. Does the guy he's been here forever. And so does he just forget or what? That may have not have been a rhetorical question, but could he just suddenly forget where he's at?
I guess you could, but
where you've been for years?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's just so odd. I'm thinking, what the fuck could you possibly do from that? You can't. Anyway. Braun controlled a lot of it. There wasn't a lot on the air, to be honest. They didn't show by the time they got him in the ring and etc. And then they went to break. But finally, both of them were down, and they did the dueling chant, but it was, let's go Penta, woof, 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 woof. And then Penta made a comeback and a backstabber, 2 count, and Braun foiled a Mexican destroyer into a gut buster. And they were, again, I just don't like seeing Braun have to put himself in position for all this tomfoolery when he's got something going on. But then Penta did a dive, and Braun was right there, standing there, and he had his arms up, and Penta went right past him. They both fell down, but Penta just landed flat on his ass on the floor from flipping over the top rope. And I'm saying, what the fuck? What? Anyway, Braun hit the Breakensteiner and covered him, and the crowd was counting with that one. 1, 2, and he kicks out. And I'm thinking, all right. Braun gets up with the mean face. He's barking. And then Dominic Dominic and Carlito have appeared, and Dominic drew the referee, and Carlito got up, and Braun just brought him right in the ring and hit him with a spear. But the referee has to turn around and look and say, well, this guy's in the fucking ring. But now they've made the rule up that as long as the guy can get in the ring all he wants, as long as the referee doesn't see him hit anybody. The fuck? So the referee looks at that, but then Dominic comes in and clips Braun's leg, and then the referee disqualifies him. So they just wanted to get out of it. It was a spot show finish for the people in Glasgow because, why beat either one of these guys? And Dominic gets on Braun, and Finn comes in and hits Braun with a chair a couple times, and then he gives it to Dominic. Dominic hits him about 4 times with it. And then Dominic gives the chair to Penta and says, hit him. And Finn's like, what are you giving him the chair for? You should have heard him with that accent. What are you giving him the chair for? And then Penta threw the chair to Dominic, who caught it and held it in front of his face so he could super kick it. And then Finn got on Penta and hit Braun with a chair again and double stomped Penta, and both the baby faces are down selling and the heels are up. And I'm not sure how I feel about a program involving Braun and Penta in a feud with the miniature Judgment Day. What the fuck is going on here? Can we just get Braun in some main events, please? More Braun.
The match wasn't bad. I know you were wondering how they would work together. It wasn't bad. Again, I think the only thing that really hurt it for this was just the idea that you have 2 baby faces wrestling each other. So the fans, I don't think they want to boo Penta, and I don't think they want to boo Braun. No. So
and Braun technically is still a heel because he hasn't actually turned, but the people like him because he's so cool.
If Judgment Day is coming after him, he's a babyface.
Well, yes.
Because Judgment Day are one of the acts you can say are clearly heel. Right? I mean, they're clearly heel. Not too many other people in the
yes.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Braun's being Braun, and it's working, but I hate who Braun has to be Braun with here these days.
Well, Braun,
I'm impatient.
You hate who he has to be Braun with. You mean Penta?
Penta and or Finn and or Carlito and or, with Dominic, it's fun when Dominic takes big bumps, but and it's a tag teams, whatever the
and
fuck.
JD, you got to figure is going to come back at some point.
Well, then we could talk about that.
And they're already doing Ray Phoenix vignette videos, I think, on SmackDown.
Well, maybe, so maybe Penta will need a partner after Braun gets mad because Penta gets beat and spears him out of his boots, and then Penta brings his brother Felix in, and then Braun goes somewhere else to fight big stars.
Why didn't AEW just call him Penta? Like, Penta El Zero Miedo is just such a, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily work for non-wrestling fans in English. But Penta just kind of says it and you're done and you can move on. It's, oh yeah, Penta. Why didn't they ever just do that?
And that reminds people what they said over in AEW after Penta left. Penta, gone.
Junior. But that was Raw. Raw gone. Another WWE Raw. And of course, Jim, when you talk about Raw, you must talk about the big business that WWE and TKO are doing. Record profits, merch through the roof. But they're not the only ones who could do merch. Anyone out there can do some brand of merch, of course. Even us, little old us. And just like us, you could have your store powered by Shopify.
That's exactly right, because as we mentioned at the top of the program, after popular demand, the Corny's Drive-Thru and other t-shirts are available at the Shop app. And then you go to Shopify's Shop app and they're in there. See, I know all the snappy phrases now that the kids are using since I've been involved with Shopify and you've started using them. Shopify, folks, if you want to sell your merch or if you want to sell somebody else's merch, let's say that, for example, somebody makes some merch and then you buy it, then you turn around and you want to resell it. Well, you can sell merch all day long. You need much merch? They got it. Shopify is the #1 checkout on the planet, the platform that all the big boys, including us, I'm big and you're the boy. And they are the ones who everyone uses to make more money because, after all, that's the sound you're going to hear, the sound of making money, the sound of profit, the sound of dirty capitalism in action. When you're selling your stuff through Shopify, you've got an idea, you got a harebrained scheme. They're the ones that can put it into reality, because look at our harebrained scheme. It's already real. And look at your harebrained schemes, ladies and gentlemen. They can become reality just like our harebrained schemes. And we can save you money on that too. Brian, did we get the $1 a month trial period, by the way, or did we just jump in with both feet? Certainly we got the deal.
I believe we got the deal.
We got the deal because you can get the deal too, folks. You can sign up for a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/JCE. That's the secret code, all lowercase, shopify.com/JCE. And then for $1, the $1 that will be the change of your life, you can have a trial period with Shopify where they can tell you what they're going to do for you and show you how beneficial it will be for them to be out there strong-arming people into giving them their money, and then they pass that money on to you. Now they occupy every street corner, every bus station, every place where crowds congregate, and they will take at least $1 off of each person that passes by, or elsewise they give them a couple of sharp raps on the ear, maybe a little elbow in the temple. And then they gather all that money up in a hat and they bring it right back to you, and this is what you hear. Now imagine they're doing that on a worldwide basis, where all of their virtual employees out there on all the interwebs are simultaneously elbowing somebody in the temple or wrapping them up on the side of the head. There's another $1 for you. Brian, do you realize if you have a worldwide reach, how many people you could extort for $1? They're going to make everybody billionaires.
We are not, again, no extortion. And if that wasn't something implied, they'd probably put it as part of their tagline. This is just a way to sell your products and make good money, hard-earned money, legitimate money through legitimate means with the legitimate Shopify.
Well, if it's implied sometimes that people don't get the ply. So if you don't want extortion, folks, click the no extortion box when you...
Again, it's built into the service. You don't have to worry about that, just like you're not going to have to worry about anything else.
You have to, actually, if you want extortion, you have to ask for it.
No extortion. No extortion. There'll be no extortion.
Well, folks, no money. That's what you have to lay out at the start. $1 a month trial period. Shopify.com/JCE. Check out with the big boys, baby. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. They're powering the engine behind our commerce on the T-shirts now, and they will power your engine from behind. And they'll jackhammer you to success. And your opponents and competitors will be spit roasted on the spit of frustration and agony.
Metaphorically speaking, because you'll be doing so well, minding your own business and selling your products the legitimate way with Shopify. Jim, what's that promo code? How can the listeners get this great deal?
Minding your own business at $1 a month at shopify.com/JCE.
That's right. Of course, Shopify powering our official Jim Cornette store.